everybody! Welcome to day 23 of 24 days to a crafty Christmas. We are almost there and I finished the blanket! Ba-ba! I am so happy. I got it done a whole day ahead of schedule, which is really exciting. Good for two reasons. One, I get to enjoy it on Christmas Eve and not just Christmas Day. And two, that frees up my Christmas Eve to finish off all the other projects that I haven't quite gotten finished yet. This happens to me every year. Despite all my scheduling and my best intentions, things always seem to kind of get in the way and push my schedule back. But it's all right. I don't really mind. I feel like Christmas Eve has sort of unintentionally become a traditional night of crafting and wrapping, but that's fine. I think I like it that way, so I think I'll continue with that. Anyway, today I thought I would just quickly take you through some of the blanket stats, show you how it looks all together, and give you some of the details of the border I did, which is just a basic single crochet border. Nothing fancy. I just wanted to use up what I had, and if any of you are making it along with me, you can kind of see what I did. The actual pattern, so the very basic pattern for this blanket, is in the description box of all of the videos in this series. So if you needed to refer to it, if you were making one of your own, it's always right there. And the materials are all completely listed in the first video of the series. And we'll make sure that one's linked down below and also at the end of the video in case you need a refresher on that. Some stats on the blanket. It is 50 inches or 127 centimeters wide by 60 inches or 152 centimeters long. So it's a perfect size for cuddling, for a throw, nice couch blanket. I was able to repeat each color 4 times except for red. I got one more row in on the red, which is great because when I'm striping a blanket, I like to start and finish with the same color because I just feel like it kind of bumpers the blanket nicely and it just kind of looks finished. That's just probably a personal preference, but I like sort of to begin with a color and end with a color. So luckily I had enough red to do that. The yarn that I used, while all stating the same weight category and all the same size ball of yarn, the red and the green were much lighter in weight than the cream and the gray, which is fine. I don't feel like it made a significant difference to the way the blanket looked. I just was aware when I was crocheting with the red and the green to loosen up a little bit on my stitches, and when I was crocheting with the green or the gray and the cream to tighten up a little bit on my stitches, and that would sort of even each other out. So all of the stripes are still the same height, and there's no weird spaces or anything in between the stitches. So I still like the way it turned out. However, I did wind up with a lot more red and green left over and barely any gray or cream. And I could have added a gigantic border of, you know, several rows of red and green, but I just didn't really care to. I wanted to finish off the edges, as I'll show you in a minute, with just a simple little bit of single crochet, but I wanted the focus of the blanket to be all those beautiful peppermint stripes. So I got some more information here. I used the half double crochet stitch throughout. The blanket is 100 stitches wide and it's 102 rows long. Each stripe of color is 6 rows. So every 6 rows I would change color, and that worked out really well. I like the size and the thickness of the stripe. So that's pretty much it. Very basic. I love the way it looks. We'll stick a photograph in here. And now I'm going to just quickly take you through what I did for the border. So after I finished fastening off my last row of the blanket, I flipped the blanket over. I took my cream yarn, started with a slip knot, and joined with a slip stitch in the top of that last stitch of the blanket. Chained 1, and I single crocheted in the same stitch. That was just to sort of establish the border row. And I decided to work over top of both of my tails, so I just tucked them in to the top of the blanket. And I started to single crochet in each stitch all the way across the top of the last row of my blanket. Some nice simple single crochet stitches. When I get to the other corner, and in fact all the corners on the blanket, in the final stitch, so all the end corner stitches, I'm going to work a single crochet, 2 chains, and a single crochet just to turn the corner. Now, if I was going to do more rows of border, I would have set myself up for doing more corner work with that little chain 2 space. But as it was, I just wanted to turn the corner. And then, because I had used half double crochet for the blanket stitch, That's a bit of a taller stitch than the single crochet is wide. So I worked about 9 single crochets across the edge of each of those colored stripes. So the stripes are only 6 rows tall, but because the half double crochet is a little taller, I worked 9 single crochet across each stripe. And I wasn't really going for a stitch count. I would just sort of lay it down, smooth it out every so often to make sure that my border looked even, because that's all I really wanted to get, was a nice even look. Then I worked all the way down to the next corner. Same thing, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in every corner. About halfway up the other side of the blanket, I finally ran out of the cream, which was no big deal. I just grabbed my little leftover bit of gray and knotted it in. So I just did a simple knot, made sure it was nice and tight, and it's not going to come undone. And then I continued to single crochet. And even if, you know, it's always a good idea to check on your tails when you're weaving them in after you're done a project. But I tend to crochet pretty tightly. So when I get up to the knot, I just put those 2 tails alongside the top or the edge of the blanket, and I just single crocheted over top of them, and it worked out fine. When I got up to the other end, I continued just to regularly single crochet. I worked the last single crochet in the first stitch that I joined in, chain 2, and then join with a slip stitch to that first single crochet. So just the most plain basic single crochet borders. I love the edge. I fastened off and I wove in the tail, and now it's done. I love it. It's cozy, it's warm, it's wide, it's long, it's perfect for cuddling with. And since it's probably going to be cool and chilly, it's the perfect little thing to have on the couch, just toss around my shoulders or anybody else who maybe feels they need a little bit of a warmer. If you want more information on this blanket project, we've got a special page dedicated to it over on our website, and we'll link the website in the description box down below. We've got the blanket pattern, we've got some photographs, some nice close-ups of it, and just some information on the materials and stuff. So there's another resource if you want it all in one place. You don't necessarily have to bounce through all the videos. But that's that. That was the Christmas blanket. I just worked on it watching some shows. It was a nice opportunity to kind of settle my brain during the crazy holiday season, and now it's done and I get to enjoy it. So that's it. One more day left in our little series. I can't believe that month went as fast as it did. We hope you guys are having a great month too, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye everybody.
Hello everyone, this is Mr. InStitches. Thanks for watching today's Christmas video diary. Here are some other videos you might be interested in. Just click on one to watch it. Have a wonderful day and stay crafty.